disgraceful. That's how Royal Commissioner Ray Finkelstein has described Crown Casino's behaviour.
It was, to quote the report, illegal, dishonest, unethical and exploitative.
The Commission found Crown is not suitable to hold a licence due to money laundering and a disregard for laws and regulations.
What has occurred at Crown is not only shameful, it cannot be allowed to occur again.
Despite this, Crown will keep operating for at least 2 years. Former IBAC Commissioner Stephen O'Brien has been appointed to oversee reforms. He has extraordinary power over the board.
Crown are more than on notice. Their licence will be terminated, and it will terminate in 2 years' time unless and until they can demonstrate that they are fit and proper to hold such a licence.
Among the findings was Crown's lack of probity for overseas gambling junkets, which involved criminal gangs. Those junkets will be banned. The Commission was also scathing of Crown's treatment of problem gamblers.
Crown Melbourne had for years held itself out as having a world's best approach to problem gambling. Nothing can be further from the truth.
The fact is, Crown Company is morally bankrupt and is unsalvageable.
Other changes include banning cash transaction over $1,000, mandatory preset gambling limits on all poker machines, and Crown will have to keep CCTV vision for 12 months. So, was Crown too big to fail? The Commissioner noted it would benefit the state if Crown could be rehabilitated.
There are thousands of jobs, though, down at the casino that these people have acted in good conscience and I think it's important as we're coming out of a pandemic that they have that financial security as well.
The biggest threat to Victoria is allowing this corporate vulture culture to continue.
Crown engaged in tax avoidance. $60 million has been repaid, but there could be more.
These findings are very sobering. I accept them and will work hard to improve the organisation in every area which the Victorian Royal Commission found lacking.
It took a New South Wales inquiry to trigger this Royal Commission, despite years of media allegations which have now been substantiated. And for too long, the gambling watchdog was labelled too weak and ineffective, but the government always stood by it and didn't include it in the terms of reference.
No reform of Crown can be complete without a frank and thorough investigation of the dealings of the Victorian government with Crown.
It is not irrelevant that the Royal Commission's terms of reference explicitly excluded scrutiny of Victorian politicians or of the Victorian government.
Andrew Wilkie there, and state political reporter Richard Willingham is with us now. Rich, the findings were damning. Why has it taken this long to get to this stage?
Well, the findings are shocking, but they shouldn't shock anyone because there's been warnings about this kind of behaviour being made over many, many years by both the media and some other politicians. And too often they're sort of been fobbed off, if you like. The regulator has been backed despite criticism that regulator wasn't able to do its job, it didn't have the powers, which allowed this behaviour to fester. And there's also been lots of criticism about the relationship between Crown Casino and the state government, regardless of what political stripe they are, but particularly Labor, because they've been in power for so long. And because there hasn't been this, I guess, strong, watchful eye over Crown Casino, it's allowed this behaviour at Crown to, I guess, fester internally, and they've been emboldened to get on with some of this, the behaviour that's been found to be illegal and unethical by this Royal Commission. As for, I guess, punters and staff, they can return in greater numbers from 6 p.m. on Friday when the restrictions in Victoria ease, but there's going to be some considerable limits put on both the operation of the gambling and as well as their corporate structure. Dan Ziffer explains.
12,000 employees will soon return to work at Crown's 3 hotels, 500 gaming tables and 2,500 poker machines. But big changes are coming.
Well, the regulator was being treated with contempt by Crown.
Other recommendations will see the exit of major shareholder James Packer. No single shareholder can own more than 5% of the company. And a new maximum fine of $100 million if it breaches the law. But while Crown Resorts isn't clean enough to have a casino licence in New South Wales, where it doesn't have one, Crown's shares rocketed on news that the Melbourne licence would not be ripped up.
If this was any other business, they wouldn't be treated this way, to have behaved so illegally, so exploitatively, and then say, oh, you can keep running your business.
No wonder the share price has shot up. I mean, this is just a win on every level for Crown Casino in Melbourne.
But scrutiny of the casino's operations doesn't end here. Investigations are continuing in Western Australia and by financial crime agency Austrac.
Here you've got Crown trying to operate across 3 states, and each of those states trying to put in these sorts of piecemeal regulations.
Crown's Melbourne casino is one of the largest in the world, and it's been a licence to print money. But with money laundering and not paying millions upon millions in tax, governments and the public are running out of patience for Crown to change, even if shareholders aren't yet. Daniel Ziffer, ABC News, Melbourne.